Okay students, now today we are taking the chapter 1 electric flux Gauss theorem. So first is the electric flux. What is the electric flux? It is the scalar quantity and it is related to the electric field with its source. It is mathematical concept and it is the scalar quantity. So generally electric flux, it is the number of field lines through the surface area. So whenever we are taking any electric field from the source, and if you are imaging one surface, that is the closed surface, from that closed surface how many number of field lines are coming out, the number of field lines from unit surface area, that is known as the electric flux. So electric flux is the just number, it is the scalar quantity. Also it is known as the dot product or the scalar product of two vector quantity, electric field and the area. Here in this physics we are taking the area as a vector quantity. So now we can see that electric field is in the plus x direction here, and suppose if you are taking the one area, then this area is in the direction given. So the direction of the area is perpendicular to the plane here. So the angle made between E and dA is theta, and this is we are taking the closed surface. So for that, flux is given by E dot dA. Flux is equal to E dA cos theta. If electric field and surface area, they are parallel to each other and in the same direction, then angle theta is 0. So phi is equal to E dA cos 0 is equal to E dA. If surface area and the electric field both are perpendicular to each other, in that case flux is given by E dA cos 90 and it is equal to 0. So there is no flux coming out when the surface area is perpendicular to the electric field. Another point, unit of the electric flux. See, electric flux is equal to phi is equal to E dA. The unit of electric field is given by Newton per coulomb and the area unit is meter square. So unit of the flux is given by Newton meter square upon coulomb, or it is also known as the voltmeter or the Weber. Now if you are taking any electric field and here we are taking the random surface area, closed surface area, then at the given point J we want to find out the electric flux. Then electric flux at the J point is given by Ej dot delta Aj. Here we are taking the some unit area is given by delta Aj. So flux is equal to sigma Ej dot delta Aj. By taking the limit delta Aj tends to 0, we get the total flux over this surface area. That means we are calculating the flux by all the small area and we are taking the summation of all these flux of the small area. So total flux is given by phi 1 plus phi 2 plus phi 3 up to phi n. So that is the summation of the flux J. So by taking the limit delta Aj tends to 0, we get the flux is equal to limit delta Aj tends to 0 sigma J Ej dot delta Aj. So flux is given by integration. Now this summation is converted into the integration because all these area are having the same value, same area, unit area we are taking. So this is the continuous distribution of the charge. We can say that the charge are in symmetry. So flux is given by integration, surface integration E dot dA. The definition of the electric flux. The flux linked with any surface is the surface integration of the electric field over the given surface. Again, what is the definition? The flux linked with any surface. Here any surface, that is the any closed surface. Any closed surface is the surface integration of the electric field over the given surface. Let's take the Gauss theorem. What is the Gauss theorem? So the electric flux indicates the Gauss theorem. Now we can take the comparison between the Coulomb's law and the Gauss theorem and its uses. Coulomb's law, it is used to find the electric field at any point, but Gauss theorem, it is used to determine electric field of the system of charges having symmetry. The system of the charges having the symmetry, then only we are using the Gauss theorem. So it is one of the fundamental laws of the nature. We can take one sphere. At the center of the sphere there is a charge q and the radius of the sphere is small r. Here we are taking the one small unit area dA. The electric field of this plus q charge and dA, they are in the same direction. So flux is equal to surface integration E dot dA is equal to surface integration E dA cos 0, because electric field is parallel to the surface area and cos 0 equal to 1. So flux is equal to integration E dA. So E is constant, taken outside of the integration, E integration dA. So the integration dA, that is the total surface area of the sphere. So total surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square, 4 pi r square, whereas the electric field is equal to kq upon r square. E is equal to kq upon r square. K is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, so it is q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r square into 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square is cancelled, we get the q upon epsilon 0. This is the flux equation. So flux is equal to q upon epsilon 0. So flux is independent of the radius of the sphere. Electric flux is true for any type of the or any size of the closed surface. Now we can take the definition of the Gauss theorem. The Gauss theorem is the total electric flux associated with any closed surface is equal to the ratio of the net charge enclosed by the surface to epsilon 0. So flux is equal to surface integration E dot dA is equal to sigma q upon epsilon 0. The left hand side of this equation indicate that electric field E is due to system of the charges, either it is outside or inside the surface. It is due to the all the charges included, and it is the electric field of the all the charges included in the system of the charge. Whereas in the equation at the right side we get the sigma q upon epsilon 0. So the sigma q, that is the total charge enclosed by the surface only. The charge in the closed surface is known as the sigma q. If the charge is outside the surface, closed surface, then it is not taken into account. So this is the Gauss theorem. Flux is equal to integration S E dot dA is equal to sigma q upon epsilon 0. Suppose we are taking, this is the closed surface, and here we draw the imaginary surface. Then this imaginary surface is known as the Gauss surface or the Gaussian surface. So Gaussian surface is the imaginary concept. Now application of the Gauss theorem. We are taking the first application of the Gauss theorem is we can find out the electric field due to the an infinite straight uniformly charged wire. So if you are taking the infinite wire, which is the charged wire, and it is the very long wire and it is uniformly charged, then around the wire we can get the electric field using the Gauss theorem. So here we have drawn the wire. This is the charged wire. So one part of the wire is given here, and we have drawn one cylindrical surface, that is known as the Gaussian surface. So at the P point, what is the electric field, and at these two opposite point, what is the electric field? So electric field due to the positive charge is outward direction. So these are the direction of the electric field, it is outward. So first of all we are taking the S point and the R point. At the S and R point electric field and the surface area, they are perpendicular to each other. Electric field and surface area are perpendicular to each other, so the angle is 90 degree. So the flux coming out from this circular surface area is given by phi s is equal to phi r is equal to EDA cos 90. Cos 90 is equal to 0, so the flux is 0. Now at the point P, what is the flux coming out from the curved surface area? Here we are taking, this is the curved surface area. If we are taking, this is the wire, then this is the curved surface area. This circular area here, the flux is become 0 because electric field is perpendicular to the surface area. So here there are so many charges on the wire, so we are taking the linear charge density. The linear charge density is given by total charge upon total length. So lambda is equal to Q upon L. So Q is equal to lambda into L. So here at the P point we are using the Gauss theorem. So flux is equal to integration E dot dA is equal to sigma Q upon epsilon 0. So it is EDA cos 0, because here electric field and surface area, they are parallel to each other. E parallel dA, theta is 0. So it is the E into dA is equal to Q upon epsilon 0. This implies the electric field is constant, integration dA is equal to Q upon epsilon 0. This implies E into integration dA, that is the total surface area. Total surface area of the curved surface is given by 4 pi r square. It is given by the 2 pi rl. Here length is L. So Q is equal to lambda into L, lambda L upon epsilon 0. From this we can say that E is equal to lambda L upon epsilon 0, 2 pi r L. So E is equal to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon 0. So it is the 2k lambda upon r. R is not cancelled. So E is equal to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon 0 r is equal to 2k lambda upon r. So we can write the equation that electric field is 2k lambda upon r into unit vector r. This is the electric field equation.